Welcome into the Cheeley Law Review. My name is Ben Burnett. My guest today is Samantha, the plaintiff.
Hello there.
And Bob Cheeley, the plaintiff's lawyer.
Good to see you, Ben.
And it's been a long time. I appreciate you guys sitting down with me today. Samantha, I want to talk to you about your mental strength in a courtroom and knowing that you have to have a certain amount of courage in order to believe in your case so strongly that you are willing to put essentially your future in the hands of 12 strangers.
Well, first of all, I did not want to go to trial. I was very anxious about it, getting up there on the stand, telling my story, making sure, are all these 12 people going to, side with me, you know? I didn't know. And then I have... Since all of this has happened since 2013, I've had major depression and my anxiety, which I've never had before until this. That's socially, I don't have the confidence like I used to have. So thinking about all of this and then going up there and being in a trial setting and all of that, I was just very, very anxious and stressed out about it. So it was hard.
I think her mother was more stressed out than she was, though.
Probably.
Parents usually are, Bob. We know. My mom still worries about me more than anybody in the whole world. When you look, what's the thought process of taking a court case and settling before trial? Was it just the fear of that 2 or 3 weeks and your life being in the hands of 12 people that you never met, or was it details? What were you afraid of that was real, and what were you afraid of that is kind of a figment of your imagination?
I was afraid of the defense attorneys asking me questions and just tricking, just little phrases that they would say. They might trick me or something into saying something that they want me to actually say, but it's not the truth. So I was more so worried about them, the questions that I was going to be asked.
In hindsight, were those legitimate fears, or was a lot of that conjured up in your head?
Probably a little bit of both. Yeah.
So if you had to say on the other end of sitting through a trial, because you sat through the entire trial and your trial went to a jury, would you say that the expectation was as scary as you thought beforehand, or would you tell somebody, if you have the right lawyer and they believe the right thing to do is to try the case, you should absolutely trust the person that you are hiring?
Definitely trust the person you're hiring. And I had all of my trust in Bob. He was there nonstop. He has been there nonstop for me since we started working together. So yeah, I knew during trial, I was like, well, man, this isn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. And each day I would tell myself, it's getting easier and easier. And then when I took the stand, I was took a deep breath and I was like, I got this.
Did you black out?
I kind of felt like I did for one.
You're like, what did I say?
Bit, yeah. But then when I was done, my sister came up to me and she's like, you nailed it. And then when she told me that, I was like, man, for her to say that, I was like, that was a huge compliment. And then everyone else told me how great I was. Bob was there, and I had him right there, so I knew I was in good hands and could do it.
Mr. Cheeley, talk about what this has meant to your life and coaching a client, gaining their trust, knowing that you answer the phone at all hours of the day, because you have to play psychologist a little bit.
You do have to play the role of a psychologist as a trial lawyer in several respects, dealing with opposing counsel and letting them know that once you tell them what the case is worth, you've got to be able to back it up and let them know that this is what I expect you to pay if you want to get out of this and not run the risk of a jury just blowing you up and all the negative publicity that will come with that. And so that's, you play psychologist with, get in their head, or most of the time you have to, coach your own client to muster up the courage to trust you and to lead them across, the Red Sea. I view my role as standing in standing in the gap, to use a biblical term, for Samantha, to help her muster up the courage to go to trial, to get justice. Because if she had not been willing to go to trial, then we could not have achieved the result that we did.
Samantha, gratifying is the wrong word, but I can't think of a better word to use. Knowing that your life has drastically changed over the last 10 years, what does a settlement do for your overall peace of mind with respect to justice, and what does it not do?
Well, it helps me with my medical bills, and to know, like, in the future, like, because I'm trying to figure out, like, surgery to bring my scapula, bring my shoulder back up, just to know that I have that. And who knows what's to come in 20, 30 years, like, if I can have surgery or if I can't. And then also if this could get worse. I just don't know. And so, I mean, it's a permanent nerve damage. So it's a permanent issue that I'm living with. It doesn't take I'm still in pain every day. It's just quality of life. Like, being 40, I thought I was going to be married by now, have kids, and I can't even hold a baby. And so it's hard. I've got people like Bob and my family and God and here supporting me, but it's just quality of life, I believe. Like, the things that I used to be able to do, I can't do anymore. And I still have my left arm. I know it's my left arm. I always tell myself it could always be worse. It could always be worse. But it's just the fact that I'm not able to do the things that I was able to do once before. And, like, I used to work out every day, and now I haven't been able to do that since.
I asked Samantha in the presence of the jury if there was all the money in the world stacked up in the courtroom and she could choose between having that money or having her health back, what would she choose? And she, without any hesitation, she said, I would rather have my health back. I've suffered depression. I've suffered pain, physical pain every day of my life. I can't sleep. It's been years since I've slept more than 3 hours in a row at night, and it takes a toll on me. So she said, if there was some way to get my health back, I would take it without even thinking about it. And money cannot replace your health. And that resonated with the jury. And I think the jury was going to pound the hospital if it had been left up to the jury to make that decision.
It sounds like they had it coming to them, and it sounds like you did what was best for you.
Yes, I did.
Samantha, any final thoughts as we wrap up recording?
I just want to thank you, Bob, for being here, supporting me, believing in me, being a mentor, father figure to me. Like, it just means the world to me, and I love you. Thank you.
Well, that means the world to me. I love you too, Samantha, and I'm glad that things turned out well, all things considered. I know you'd rather have your health back, but the amount of the recovery that we got was almost 100 times more than what the first lawyer was trying to get her to take.
Yeah, crazy.
And seems wrong.
Yeah.
That there are people that practice with that attitude.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of the Cheeley Law Review. Thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make it a great week, everybody.